I knew something was wrong the second the trunk popped before I touched it. 1:12 a.m. Rain chewing the light outside Terminal C, and a gray camera plate 8JX41 rolled up like it owned the curb. My app showed a gray Camry too. Same plate, same profile photo. So I grabbed my suitcase. Then I saw it. The 3 in 430 one wasn't metal at all, just black tape shaped like a 3. From 5 feet away, you'd never notice. I should have canceled. Instead, I told myself plates bend and climbed in. The back door shut with that new car thud, and a child lock clicked. "You're Mark," the driver asked without looking. His voice sounded like a voicemail. I buckled in. The buckle felt sticky, like dried soda. The car smelled like bleach and something sweet. We pulled away, not toward the highway ramp the app suggested, but onto the service road behind the rental lots. "Construction," he said. His phone screen was dim. The Uber app on it looked wrong, fonts off, animations missing. I opened my phone. The trip hadn't started. No purple route, no ETA, just my face staring back. The driver noticed. "Signal's bad. It'll catch up." A push-to-talk radio on his dash crackled. "East exit." He squeezed the mic and said, "Copy." Not music, not chatter. Directions from someone who wasn't me. I texted my brother my live location. The phone said, "Unable to share." I hit the in-app safety shield. It spun, then grayed out. We passed a sign that reflected perfectly in his windshield and smeared in mine like my glass had mist on the inside. He took a right I didn't know existed. Chain link on both sides. Stacks of concrete barriers, puddles that weren't water. So much as mirrors. I tried the handle. Dead. Child locks. I cracked the window 2 inches. "Don't do that," he said. Gentle, like to a dog nosing trash. "Here is the only smart thing I did," I said, clear and loud. "Officer, I can hear you," to nobody. I'm describing the car now. The driver tapped the brakes twice. The radio hissed, "Passengers can say anything." 5 minutes. His hands tightened at 10 and 2. The lane opened into a dark lot painted with yellow lines. 2 cars idled under a floodlight, facing opposite ways like a stage. Nobody looked at us. Nobody looks at 1 a.m. edge of airport business. I said, "Cheerful." "Wrong turn." He said nothing. The radio said, "Left." He obeyed. My brother finally called. I answered on speaker. "Hey, thanks for calling me back, officer," I said, tipping my hand so the driver could see the phone. My brother caught on immediately. "Sir, stay. Where you are, we're a minute out," he said in his most bored cop voice. The floodlight lot suddenly felt crowded with consequences. The driver exhaled through his nose. The radio muttered, "Abort." He rolled his shoulder like a pitcher deciding not to throw, and we U-turned. On the way out, I saw the other cars. Plates, 2 numbers patched with black tape. A crooked rideshare sticker like a reused bandage. Back on the highway, his app suddenly started my trip midstream. The purple line snapped into existence. The plate in my app updated to exactly what I'd seen, tape and all, as if the system had decided to believe the car in front of it. My brother stayed on the line, making fake small talk about units en route. The driver's radio went silent, the kind of silence you get when someone mutes you, not when they leave. Near my block, he stopped in the lane with hazards on, not at the curb. "Rate 5, he asked, still not turning around. The child lock unclicked by itself. I stepped out and took a photo of the plate. He lifted his mic without pressing the button and said to me, almost friendly, "Different. Side next time." I reported everything. Fake app, radio, route. Support apologized and said no safety event was detected because the ride matched the profile. Airport police shrug. Happens all the time. Check the sticker. The sticker on his windshield looked like it had been peeled off 3 different cars. 2 weeks later, a photo arrived from a number I didn't know. Me in the back seat of that Camry. Head down. Saying officer. Caption. 5 stars, keeps everybody safe. Now I wait inside under cameras. If a trunk opens before you touch it and a radio says your name before the app does, cancel. Walk back in. Your pride won't save you. Your script might. The thing that bothers me most isn't the scare. It's the paperwork the world refuses to make. On my receipt the route looks normal. The pickup pin correct. The ETA perfect. My brother's call log shows nothing at 1:18 a.m. because his carrier flagged it as Wi-Fi only and never stamped a tower. Every system that could have proven the wrong turn politely decided to forget. That's the trick. They don't need you to disappear, just your story. Remember this. Plates can be edited. Apps can be skinned. Routes can be rewritten in the morning. The one thing they can't fake is your refusal. Say no. Get out. Live to be boring. I drive nights to pay off debt. Fewer jams. Better search. Fewer drunk bar fights. I've seen weird, but I hadn't seen terror wearing lip gloss until the Tuesday I picked up Mia outside a medical building at 11:41 p.m. The ping looked normal 5-minute pickup, 4.9 rating. Destination home. When I pulled up, a woman in a blazer hugged her purse to her ribs like a life jacket and asked through the crack of the door, "You Jason?" "Yeah," I said, tapping start. She slid in behind me instead of the passenger seat. "Good instinct. Everything okay. Please just drive," she said. "And can you not take Lincoln?" "They know Lincoln." Her voice was steady. "Used up." We rolled. After 2 blocks she said, quieter, "I'm not on the app." I glanced at my phone. The trip was live. Her profile picture, same blazer. Same hair. My coworker requested it for me. She added, "Quick." Then her phone buzzed. She sucked in air. Her hand shook hard enough to rattle the purse. "You want me to end the ride?" "Don't stop," she said. "He's in a white Tahoe. If we stop, he'll open your door." I checked the mirror. 2 cars back. White Tahoe. One headlight yellower than the other. No plates up front. I turned right. It turned too. "I'm calling 911, I said, and hit the in-app safety button. The spinner spun. Then, connection lost. Mia laughed a breathless, broken laugh. "He uses jammas," she said. "He thinks he's clever. I'm not a hero. I know every precinct and I told her I was making for the 12th district station, she said. "He won't follow you there," I said. "That's the idea." The Tahoe closed the distance, riding my bumper, flicking highs like a metronome. A silver Accord slid in behind it, box in. I cut left through a yellow and aimed for an alley I knew would spit us out on a faster street. The Tahoe took the same yellow. The Accord didn't. Its job was done. Mia's phone buzzed. A text preview lit the glass. "You look pretty when you're scared, X?" I asked. She nodded. "Restraining order." "Nod. He has friends." She whispered. "He pays them. They sit by the building and look like security. At the alley's end, a garbage truck blocked half the exit." I threaded around. My mirror kissed a dumpster and snapped. The Tahoe took the sidewalk with 2 tires and kept coming. Patience and steel. I lied to the air. "Units are on the way. He doesn't care," she said. Then she did the bravest. Small thing I've seen. She mashed my hazards. Red blinkers make other drivers watch you. Witnesses are oxygen. We burst onto a bright strip with cameras, gas, laundromat, 24-hour tacos, and I aimed at all of it like church. The Tahoe hung back, coasting in the shadow. Crowds work. At the taco place, a guy paused mid-order to film. I pulled into the police station lot 2 blocks later and parked across the spaces. We stayed in the car until a desk sergeant looked. The Tahoe idled at the corner, then slid away. Inside, the report felt like sunlight on a bruise. Doesn't fix it, proves it. The officer copied the threatening text and asked for the trip ID. I held out my phone. The screen had gone weird. The ride showed canceled. No fare. No route history. Refresh. Same. Your system glitched, he said. Neutral. He does that too, Mia said. Her smile looked like a held broken arm. They took her statement. A detective offered her a ride from a secure number. He walked her to a marked unit. Back at my car, the safety tab was back. Everything normal, like the night had been rolled flat. Next afternoon, a rideshare rep asked why I'd abandoned a trip. I said the passenger was in my car. He said their logs showed no trip. An hour later, I found an air tag under my rear. Floor mat, new battery. I don't own Apple devices. Near my phone, it beeped once like a smoke alarm bite. I gave it to the detective and asked if he could flag the Tahoe. He said there's no database for that. He added, be loud when you feel small. 2 weeks later, 11:40 p.m., a ping at the same medical building. The rider's name was Mia, same blazer photo, same rating. I canceled so fast my thumb hurt. The system reassigned the request under a different name. I drove away. A text from a number I didn't know. We don't like when you teach prey new routes. I changed my car. I still drive nights. I look for police stations before destinations. If you drive, memorize the nearest and precinct. If you ride, sit behind the driver. Share your trip and keep your voice ready for a crowd. Predators hate witnesses. They love menus. Don't be one. I was 2 blocks from home when the driver locked the doors from his phone. I heard the click and felt the car shift subtle, like it had braced. Midnight Sunday, quick ride from a friend's place, 1 beer, playing it safe. The app matched. Black RAV4, driver Evan, 5-star Saint. Inside was spotless. Seat covers, pine tree freshener, dash cam aimed at me. You're headed to Cyprus? He asked. I said yeah. He said, we're going a different way. Accident. His tone was rehearsal calm. His navigation wasn't Google, Apple, or Uber, just a black map with a red arrow and no street names. Like a cheap game. The arrow turned us south when home was north. I tapped share trip. It worked to seconds, then grayed out. Evan's phone buzzed. Yep, he said to no one. The dash cam's red LED turned off. Does your camera still record when the light's off? I asked. Sure, he said. It records everything. We passed my usual left. That was my turn, I said. Detour, he said, pointing at an unlit, unofficial construction sign. I put my hand on the door handle. Child lock. Mind cracking the window. Motion sickness. He tapped his phone. The glass dropped an inch. I caught it then. Bleach. Big and wrong. My friend texted, you home? I changed to minutes to call me now. The call came through Bluetooth. I said, loud, officer, thanks for calling me back. Evan's jaw flexed. His black map arrow corrected 1 street closer to civilization. At a 4-way, he stopped short. like he wanted room. In the dash cam reflection, I saw movement that wasn't mine. A shape unfolded from the passenger footwell into a man in a hoodie. He sat up slow and looked at me like a scheduled task. "No," I said to both of them. I undid my belt and slammed my shoulder into the door. Nothing gave. "Don't panic," Evan said, calm as a bank. The hoodie didn't speak. He had gloves on. "Pull over," I said. Evan shook his head. I leaned forward, like I'd be sick, and hit the windows, which... Evan tapped his phone. It rose half an inch and stopped. The hoodie tapped Evan's seat twice. Evan's phone chimed. We turned onto a street I didn't know. Trees taller. Houses farther apart. I learned I'm willing to be the worst passenger to stay alive. I kicked the back of the passenger seat. Hard. "Hey," Evan said. I kicked lower at the seat pocket. Again. Something sharp scraped my shoe. I reached in and pulled a spring-loaded box cutter taped to cardboard. I clicked it open. "Don't do that," Evan finally said. At the next light, a minivan pulled up. I slapped the glass and mouthed help. The mom blinked, lifted her phone to film. "We're just going to the ATM," Evan said, casual enough to make my hands shake. "A bright gas station ahead. Pull in. I'm going to puke." He didn't. So I made it his problem. I sawed the seatbelt. The dash chimed. Evan cursed and tapped the seatbelt icon reflex. He jerked into the next turn in an auto parts store lot hard enough the tires barked. As we slowed, I wedged my shoes, shoved, felt the latch catch, and tumbled into gravel and ugly light. I ran. I didn't look back until I was inside the store under fluorescents and a clerk named Kayla. "Call 911, I said, dropping the knife on the counter. We watched through the glass as the RAV4 idled, indecisive, then rolled away. An officer took my statement and asked for the trip ID. The app said trip canceled by rider. No route, driver photo, or plate. Kayla pulled the store cameras. The lot showed the RAV4. The passenger seat looked empty. No hoodie. I sent the plate photo to support. 2 days later. Vehicle not on the platform. Evan with no trips. They thanked me and sent a coupon. A week later, a black RAV4 glided past. Same plate. The driver lifted a finger hello. I didn't look at the footwell. I changed habits after that. I only meet cars under bright cameras. I test the log peg before we move, and I let friends listen in. People say that can't happen. On Uber, like the app is silver armor. It isn't. It's a doorbell. If the map looks wrong, if the dash cam blinks off, if a shape unfolds from where feet aren't, write your exit into the ride. Be loud. Be rude. Be alive.